Welcome back to the farm.
Yep, welcome back.
I'm Mac,
And Jose.
and we are here today in our high tunnel not because it's cold outside, but it is very, very windy. Yeah.
South.
Yeah, from the south, which is nice. It means it's pretty warm here on the farm today. It's supposed to get up to about 37 degrees,
Yeah.
which I think we're probably there right now. So while we are in this strange weather for this time of year, I thought we would talk a minute about what we do here weather-based in the winter. Like when it's warmer, what things we do, and then when it's cold, what kind of things we have to get done.
Yeah.
So obviously, none of you question the fact that farming is very dictated by the weather. In the summer, a lot of what we do depends on, like on cloudy days, it's nicer to be working in the field, especially during the middle of the day. During hot days when it's sunny, we often take 2 hours off in the middle of the afternoon because it's just so hot to be out there working, especially when the humidity's high. It's miserable. This time of year, though, obviously we're dealing with temperatures that are much cooler, and people always want to know when we tell them we're a farmer, they say, "What do you do in the winter?" As if we don't have that much to do in the winter. But it is very repetitive work in the winter. So when it is very, very cold outside, we do the bare minimum outside.
Yeah.
We do utilize hot water in the winter to give the birds a little bit longer with water before it freezes. So Jose twice a day makes sure the birds have water, makes sure the rabbits have water. And we also use hot water for the rabbits because their water dishes freeze. So we have to, every day that it's super cold, we have to thaw all those waterers. So it takes us a lot longer to do our chores when it's super cold, which, isn't all that much fun.
Yeah.
But it has to be done. The other thing is when we get these warm days like today where it's 35, we have a lot of chores we have to get done that can be done when it's not freezing. So for example, I clean the rabbit cages when it's this warm because when it's super cold, like I would say 10 degrees or below, it's nearly impossible to clean the cages because everything freezes instantly here on the farm. So on a day like today, I take advantage of doing a really good cleaning on the rabbit cages, and then I can do minimal cleaning when it's between about 10 degrees and 32 degrees, and then when it's super cold, I just don't clean the cages. Now, they're not sitting in dirty cages, please don't think that. Everything falls through the wire. It's just cleaning the trays is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Back to rabbit cage cleaning. Can you get me some hot water?
Yep.
This is our rabbit section of the barn. As you can see, we also keep chickens in here. The rabbit cages need to be cleaned today because the temperatures are really nice. It's really easy. We use, for the does, we have this tray system that we use. So we just bring a wheelbarrow in here. I dump these in here. Today I'll use some hot water to clean the trays. If it's really cold, I don't use much hot water. I just dump them but today's a good day to get a good cleaning done, so we're going to do that. The buck hutches are over here. Got a floor system with a gutter in the back. Everything flows into the same area, and I haven't been able to hardly clean that at all for several days, so we're going to get it done today. So on a normal above freezing day, rabbit chores take me only about 30 minutes a day. Pretty much filling waters, feeding, giving everybody hay, cleaning cages. And then I also go around and give every rabbit a little, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon of seeds. I like them to have some variation in their diets. And if you put it in their feed, they will just dig through their feed. So I just add it. They each have boards in their cages. I put it on that board for them. And they really like that. But on a day like today, the rabbit chores will take me closer to an hour. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, it's going to be good today because it's not...
Yeah, it's here. Not frozen.
Nope. Yeah, the only thing that's frozen is that a little bit on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, you have Blue here.
Yeah, he's hanging out with me. Right now we have 5 bucks and 12 does is how many rabbits we currently have. That's about the max we ever want to run. I would like to have a few less because in the summer out on pasture we have enough room for 8 does and 4 bucks. Usually at any given time we have 6 does with litters, and then we have like 3 to 4 does that are being bred at any given time. And the only time the animals are in here is when the does are pregnant, and that just makes our lives easier. We do not have a setup outside where they can easily manage and take care of a young litter. Once the litters are about 5 weeks old, they go out on pasture, but they are actually fed grass as soon as they start eating actual food and not just nursing, because we want their stomachs getting used to being on grass before we ever put them out on pasture. Okay, rabbit chores are complete. So now this wheelbarrow full of rabbit urine and manure will go out to the compost pile. We leave our compost pile for 1 year. We turn it over not real regularly, but pretty regularly. So we will not use this on the gardens until 2026. The pile for 2025 has been complete for a while and is ready to go on the gardens this year. Today it's pretty warm, but in 2 days or 3 days, we have -10 below zero coming up, and that is going to be cold. So we have to do some things to make sure the animals are going to be comfortable. So when it's around 30 degrees, we don't worry too much about the animals. They seem to stay pretty comfortable. The cool temperatures don't seem to affect them, especially the rabbits. But when it's going to get this cold, we do, for the ducks, we add extra bedding to their pens. And the reason for that is because their bedding slowly just gets wet over time. And adding an extra layer of dry bedding just ensures that they're not sitting on the wet bedding all night long. So we do it in our smaller coop up here, and then we do it in the barn for the chickens, or the ducks. The chickens we don't really worry about too much. That barn, because they're out of the wind, it doesn't get too cold. We don't really worry too much about the chickens. We've never really had a problem. -10 is probably about the lowest we've ever had since living here. I think a few times it's gotten below that, but just for a night or two and nothing extended. The other things the rabbits all get pieces of wood in their cages, and that's just so they can get off the wire. Most days they just prefer to sit on the wire. They don't even sit on their wood blocks, but when it is really cold and you go in there, they are all sitting on their wooden planks. And all we use are pine 1x8s, I think is what we have in there. And that seems to keep the rabbits really comfortable. Sometimes I'll put extra hay in their cages for them, but they really just eat it. They don't use it to sleep on or lay on or anything, and it just makes more of a mess and more soil in the cage than it's really worth. But then we also, on these warm temperatures, we try to get the snow off the top of the greenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Because the greenhouse, it doesn't get a lot of snow on it, but it doesn't always slide off when the temperatures are colder. Now, we're not expecting snow for the next 10 days other than tomorrow. So the nice thing is there's not going to be additional snow accumulation, but there's definitely snow on there today. And it's been slowly sliding off, but I think we're going to go over and attempt to get the rest of it to break off and come off, just because I don't like that extra weight sitting on those plastic panels for too long. So you can see a lot of the snow has already slid off the roof here on this side, but it's pretty thick up there, maybe 18 inches. Jose's going to attempt to at least loosen it, because while it's warm is when will slide underneath. So he's going to give it a try, see if we can get that off of there.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, careful. Watch out, Shawnee. It's like big icebergs. our cats went missing for 12 days recently, and I was worried the snow had slid off of the roof onto him, but then he showed back up after 12 days. Cats are strange. You never know what's going on with them. Well, I was hoping when he started pulling on it that it would come off in a big sheet, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And disappointingly, the sun has gone behind the clouds, which means it won't continue to warm the greenhouse very much. Because usually on a super warm day, once it starts to slide, we know it'll heat up enough to slide all that snow off. It's just too thick up there at the top. The good news is the way the wind comes over the top of the barn, we rarely get more than the amount of snow we have on there because the wind just blows it off. So it usually doesn't get too thick on the greenhouse, but I'm sure if we got a hard overnight snow with no wind, we'd have a problem. And so far the high tunnels have stayed pretty snow-free as well. And today a lot of the snow that was on there slid off again because it's very warm.
Yeah.
I think inside the greenhouse itself is over 40 degrees today.
Yeah.
That's kind of our winter project list when the temperatures are warm and cold. I do a lot of stuff inside when the temperatures are really bad or it's snowing. I have to do, all of our garden planting gets done. I try to have that done by the end of December so seeds can get ordered first thing in January. That's always the first thing I order. I also have to order potatoes, any plants that we're going to do. So this year we'll be doing raspberries and we're going to be doing grapes. So all of those will need to be ordered here coming up. And then I also have to do all of the member tracking that we do. So every year in January, I give the members an accounting of their account. So how much they spent over the last year, and then talk to them about what pricing plan they may want to do for the next year. Like, did they spend all of their money? Did they go over that? Which they already know that because they've had to pay extra money. But I think me connecting with them and helping them make a decision helps to make sure that we're getting paid in January from our members. And that's a big help to get us through because we really make no money between the end of January and about the second week of May. So we have to survive on everything we have in savings and what the members have paid in January to get us through those, 3.5 months. So that's a long time as a farmer not to be making any money. So I do a lot of that. Let's see, we also like to play Mario sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So that's something we do. But we also go to visit a lot of other farms and visit our friends because really we have about 3 months of the year where we can't do anything. We cannot leave the farm except for do the necessities. And I always say to people, if it's not on the plan for the year, it's not going to happen because once we are moving and following that plan, it's like every day you just get up and do it. So if somebody delivers something or it wasn't on our plan, it doesn't happen. And I hate to say that, but it's so hard to switch gears when we are super busy.
Yeah.
The other thing is we don't get a chance to go see anybody or hang out with people. People come by the farm and see us, but it's very a short-lived visit because we just don't have time to hang out and be friendly. And then there's about 6 months of the year on either side of that busy stretch. The busy stretch is really about August, September, and October. The few months before that and few months after that, or month and a half after that, are busy, but not as busy. Like we still leave the farm, we go and do things, we hang out with people. And then we have the stretch from maybe mid-January through about mid-March or April where we don't have a whole lot going on. All of the member letters have been sent out, everything's been ordered for the year, and we actually have time to go and see all of our friends and make sure we keep those relationships going because we do like the people around us and our community. So today, Jose, what are you going to work on?
Putting this more straw in the chicken area?
Yeah, Jose's going to focus on the straw. I'm going to get the rabbit cages clean. The first thing we're going to try and do is get this pile of snow off the top of the greenhouse. You think we can just attempt to see if it'll pull off? Yeah, we'll give that a try. You can follow us to see how well that works out. Sometimes the best laid plans on the farm. And then let's get that compost bin emptied. We keep a big 5-gallon compost bucket outside of the house, but on super cold days it freezes and it's hard to empty. And today we should be able to get it emptied.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a lot of little things that can get done when the weather's warmer. Anything else we need to accomplish today?
Nope.
No. The rabbits already have all their boards in their cages, so I don't ever need to worry about that. We try to do that as soon as it starts to get cold. All right.
All right.
Let's get to work. You putting your gloves on? Where am I? Okay.
The snow on the top is very compact, so I keep the heater. I will leave it running for about maybe 30 minutes to see if to help to, maybe the snow can slide. So we'll see. All right, now it's time to clean the mess. You see that? It worked, huh? It worked. Yeah, it takes almost about 30 minutes. Alright, good. Well, you almost will find me in spring.
Jose almost got himself buried under a big old pile of snow. The good news is, this did come off. We ended up kicking the heat on inside of the greenhouse just long enough to heat it up and to get it to slide off. Now, that technique we cannot use on super cold days, because what happens is if it's well below freezing, it just freezes into a sheet of ice down here and we get a real heavy layer of ice right on the end. So that's only a technique we can use when it's above freezing outside.
Right now, like at 35.
So it worked out well though. It slid all of that off of there, and it's nice because it gets all that weight off that plastic, and now if we get some snow tomorrow, at least it's not building on top of what's already there. So we have one last project to get done today, and that's to put the straw in with the ducks. So we're going to do it over here, and then I think we'll put straw over here and maybe a bale of hay. We haven't yet spread a bale of hay in there for them.
Oh, yeah.
So because we bought like 40 bales of hay off of a friend, and so it's just stacked up in the garage for us to use over the winter. So I think we'll put that out, let the chickens dig through it and the ducks. Which one you want to do first?
Here, this
All right, let's go get her done. Do you have your knife on you? Need help?
Probably. Hi, chicken.
So we don't break it up too much. We just throw it in there because the chickens, that's their favorite job, is digging apart these flakes of straw. Oh, that's my new favorite rooster back there. He moved himself in here with these ladies after the previous rooster passed away. I don't think he's an ideal rooster for the cold temperatures up here. He's got too big of a comb, but he's a pretty boy. All right, first coop done, on to the second. that's it for putting the hay down. We'll let the chickens spread it around. They'll do the hard work. We just do the easy work.
All right, chicken.
All right, get to work.